are making Denver play out of the shadow of their own touchline. So slowly but surely making progress, and Denver's going to need to get something going if they can gain possession to get themselves out of trouble here.
They are knocking on the door looking for an opportunity here.
And the throw-in is going to be Dallas's. And the tower is built and now trying to push forward. Good group effort by Dallas. It gains a few feet. And now they bust out of it. Again, just unable to get much breathing room. But Denver now with their heels dug in the try zone. They can't give another inch, and they don't. Still going left to right on the attack, trying to find any little opening. Now they just take it straight off of the free chance, and they try going forward. It's got to be close now. Still, every inch gained, 1 inch closer to that try line, trying to tie this thing up. And now breaking out of it with possession was Dallas, but they're going to bring that back. Had an awkward angle. I think there was something about the hit they didn't like. And Sharon, so far, it's been, besides the one little breakout that Denver had, which was, off of a nice athletic play down the left wing, it's been nothing but tough sledding, and it's been nothing but pretty much these two teams trading 5 or 6 meters every touch.
Yeah, which we came out here figuring that both of these teams were fairly even matched for the most part, and both of these teams had about equal amount of talent. So this is exactly the outcome that I expected to see right off the bat.
And now with a golden chance, Dallas.
It'll be important to see which of these teams get out to a more momentum streak than the other team, because once they catch that momentum, then it could all unravel from there.
And here a huge chance to tie this thing up.
Yeah.
Again,
possibly take the lead.
But to Denver's credit on the defensive end, I'd say that Dallas has been knocking on the door for about 2 minutes of game time now, and now it's going to back them up even further. Denver absolutely dug in on the shadow of the try line, but a great individual play through the middle.
Yeah, huge play right there. Great athletic ability right there, making it happen.
If Denver was able to track down that loose ball, it would have been a huge momentum killer. Instead, Dallas still with a chance, but again, it has to start to get disheartening, knocking on the door over and over and over again. Denver has yet to answer.
Yeah. That's the important thing. Denver has to answer here. They can't continue to get pushed back.
And now it's going if they could get this ball out. Oh, not quite able to get it off to his teammate. Now they will. One hop and a run through the middle. Stuffed, but able to get the pass off. Got a seam. Drives it through. It's dead center if he was in. Still not able to get the touch. Still looking for the try.
So close.
We're talking inches now.
Tyson, that's about as close as you can get.
Yeah, and now we're still just standing right here on the inch line, going forward. Inches being the difference, a surge forward. And thought they had a break. But again, one more time, with all that pushing, all that shoving going on, couple tugs of the jersey that the official didn't like that he deemed led to the break. So again, I'd say we're at the 5-minute mark of this Dallas scoring opportunity.
Yeah. The scoring opportunity has gone on for a minute now, and they've just simply not been able to get in. They have to find something here.
And again, both teams, it's 5-0. This is scratching. This is clawing. Dallas still looking for the tie. Pushes forward, gains another couple vital feet, resurging forward.
And
there
they go.
Finally busting through. And
much to the crowd's rejoice, might I add.
If they are gonna take the lead off of it, it's gonna have to come from a heck of a boot, but it is a chance.
Yes,
5-5 now.
Tying that one up, and that was a very, very long scoring opportunity.
So now each team with a try apiece. Denver unable to convert. On the drop kick after theirs, but honestly a very similar angle.
Yeah. Let's see if he'll be able to knock it in.
Far right, he's not aiming at much, but it is a doable shot if he can hit it clean.
It is.
See what kind of swing he can have at it. Drives his boot through. He got a good piece of it. Oh, it puts it clean through. Taking that opportunity to put his team ahead, which could end up being vital the way that points have been scrapped for.
Yeah, that's huge. The Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company is proud to be the top sponsor of NSCRO and enhance the small college rugby experience. Penn Mutual understands that rugby is life. Learn how at pennmutual.com/rugby.
Great organization, and they've done a lot to make sure that this great event can happen in it.
Yes,
so,
sir.
With all these teams coming together, I mean, 6 of the best from their collective, I'm going to say, tiers of competition.
Yeah.
And they're all playing for either regional titles or later in this third game, it's going to be a chance for a national title. So we're going to have for a national title appearance, pardon me. So we're going to have a chance to see a lot of good rugby today. And this game certainly, while it has been methodical and it has been technical, it has not disappointed.
No, not at all. This is exactly what we expected to see from two great
loose
postseason
ball
powers.
Here. Big moment played by Denver. And they're lucky they got that on the bounce, because there were, if he was a split second later, 3 Dallas attackers waiting to clean that up and be on the counter. But as it is, that play saved by Sam Noonan. And it's plays like that, you don't end up with any points on the season from it, but he just saved 5 going the other way most likely.
Yeah, that's definitely a momentum thing for the team. That'll definitely help them out in the long run mentally.
So now with the scrum, it looks like Denver is going to keep 5 out of it. Have 1 deep just in case it can stop the counter. Always interesting to see how aggressive a team sets up.
Yeah.
And you can see trying to prevent any kind of quick hit counter. Both teams are playing one of their defensemen, essentially, if you watch football, as a safety, playing way, way back. Swung over to the right, 1 step. Good misdirection. He gets past 1, but is just met with a second. So as we sit here, Dallas up 7-5, both teams with a try early in the game. Dallas the one that's able to capitalize on the extra 2 after it.
Yeah, that was a great boot there on Dallas's part. Knocked it clean through the uprights.
And a big moment. They had worked for about 5, I'd say in between 5 and 7 minutes down on that try line to get those 5. And knowing that you might not get too many chances, a big moment to go take advantage of the extra 2.
Yeah, that was a true battle down there in the trenches. They worked hard for those.
Now the men on the wings might have a chance. Still keeping it going, played up. Dallas at this point just working forward 1 player at a time. Each man able to gain a couple meters and then pass it off. Working down the field methodically. Trying to maybe take a big chunk down the wing, but Denver cuts it off very well. Now switch and play. Might have something to swing down the right. 1 step and thread the needle through.
Yeah.
And now this is an opportunity. He's drawing 1 or 2 defenders. Hang off. If he could get the pass off, he's drawn almost half of the defenders available in the area. There might be an opening down the right now. Phenomenal run through the center.
Yep. And sometimes that's all it takes, 1 athletic player making an athletic play.
And you could argue that where most of the highlight reels happen are on that 20 meters down the side, but games are won in the 50 in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to spread this back out. Dallas maintaining possession, and well, we mentioned it was a game of possession before, and Denver certainly won the first 10 minutes. That's where they got their 5 from. Dallas has had an awful lot of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to boot it away here, though. Kicking for try now. Having to try to place it well, and he has. I'd say gaining about 30 meters down the side. Now the throw in. Going to be in a critical spot. So again, Dallas creeping forward.
Mm-hmm. We saw them in a similar position not too long ago, but they couldn't break out. They ended up getting in eventually. Well, let's see if they can do it quicker.
Against two teams of this quality, everything's going to be tough sledding.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have the throw in, and well executed. They keep possession. Have to wait to see where the ball comes out. It comes out Dallas. Now it's trying to work quickly. Oh, gaining 10 meters all on his own. I'd say 15. Pure force of will moving forward now. And now
got a seam. He needs to break one more.
Shrugging off marks left and right.
Absolutely.
And now room to work if he wants to flip it out to the wing. Gets it through the mid-right, though. And now a huge run through the center.
Yeah. I think this is definitely how they wanted to play their first scoring opportunity, getting out in space and making plays.
And now they think they have them a little bit disorganized. They think they can push through, and they have.
Yep. And there goes another score.
Makes it 12-5.
Yep. University of Dallas knocking that one in again. And I think that's how they wanted it to go the first time they had that scoring opportunity.
And that was a great job because they hadn't really worked fast pace yet for this entire thing, but they felt like for the first time they might have had Denver on their heels a little bit, maybe a bit disorganized, and they took advantage and kept pushing.
Yes, sir.
And I think that was critical because they had the same situation last time where they had a big run that got them right down to the try line, but I think maybe there they stopped to let themselves get organized, and what they did is they let Denver dig their heels in. This time they didn't give the opportunity.
Yeah, they were flying around, and they found the seams, and they found the gaps, and they knocked that one right in. Big score there. Trying to catch the momentum, like I said before.
And again, still early in the feeling out process of this game. I think both teams still just feeling out where they have the advantage on individual matchups. But so now that both teams have had a couple offensive possessions, this would be where I'd expect to honestly see a couple changes in game plans if the skippers see anything that they think they can take advantage of. So when Dallas gets the ball back, it will be with a chance to maybe give themselves a little breathing room, but for now, it maintains tight. It's still one possession. It's still a one-possession game, but Denver, you figure the way it's been, and normally this deficit wouldn't be that big of a problem, but you figure the way it's been and how hard points have come, that Denver wants to be the next one to score to keep on pace. Dallas now fielding. They're going to keep possession. And now you can see Dallas now just seems to, with every touch, every time they put a shoulder to someone, they've been able to gain a little bit extra ground. One more step, and now a chance to break away. He's got support on the left. He uses it. There we go.
He's got the breakaway speed.
Cleverly played, and it's going to end. Oh, goes out of bounds, I believe, off a red touch.
Yeah. That was the biggest opportunity of the game so far, the most space we've seen either team have, without a doubt. That was a major opportunity right there by the University of Dallas.
And a beautifully played break, too. He had support on the left. He realized that. Once he felt contact, that ball was going straight to the teammate. It was, honestly, I believe, a hard decision to try to figure out which that went out on. Two players were careening in, so we'll see.
Yeah, we were sitting right here, and that was tough for me to tell, so.
Barmy going to give the scrum. So off the foul away, they're going to say there was blocking away from the ball. So it will be a scrum to Denver, and it's critical that they win this.
Yes, this is huge for Denver. They need it. They need to pull this one out.
It looks like they have. No, Dallas regaining position on it, and now that's going to be a try.
Huge for the University of Dallas.
Busting
huge.
in, pardon me, not quite able to. Gives it off to a teammate. Still pushing for every inch. Down through again. There has to be contact with the ball to the ground.
Trying to make it happen again.
Now a halt of play. Neither team able to really control that ball or get a pass off, so I believe we're going to have a scrum, and now it's just getting pushed further and further back into Denver territory. And now we said the last one was critical. A loss here would basically result in 5. It will be Denver rolling it in. They've committed a lot of bodies into the scrum. They got room to the right. If Dallas were to win it, if Denver were to win it, they'll have to work quickly out, and they have.
Yeah.
Beautiful job, and that was critical.
Yeah, that was big for Denver. I don't think they could afford another big score right there by the University of Dallas. So Denver coming away with this one,
and
that's
now
major.
A break going. Not a man you want to be tackling, but maybe not the man they'd pick to have that much open space.
Yeah, he was definitely moving very quickly.
Even so, he
down the right side.
He made sure to draw 3 or 4 to take him, and now he's going to lead to it. And honestly, that was a great run there.
Yeah.
Number 5, Joe Murdy. But what you didn't see on that run, what you won't see on any of the stat sheets, is how much space he opened up for his teammates by making 3 or 4 defenders come pay attention to him.
Yeah, this could lead to a big opportunity for the University of Denver if they can make something happen here.
And what you just saw there, Barnby, they're going to have to boot this. They're going to take the drop kick. Appears to be looking left, and he will kick it left. Not playable to anybody, just playing field position there.
Yeah, smart move.
So I believe that with that tactical decision, the ball will be put into contention, but Denver has earned themselves, I'd say, 20, 30 meters off of that.
Yeah.
And really, that decision was based off of Denver had spent too much of the last 10 minutes playing out of their own half. So now the throw-in goes errant, and Dallas picks it up. Swung out. He's got 2 to his left. Instead, puts his shoulder down and gains some tough earned meters through the center. But what we saw there with that Murdy run before they kicked it for try down the left is the importance of power as well as speed.
Yeah.
Because if you can, oh, beautiful interception, almost able to break it the other way.
Huge play again from the University of Dallas.
And a gutsy try to stick his face in there, and he's going to shrug off 1, shrug off 2, gets brought down by the 3rd. Now busting through. Starting to see just the pure power of will late in this half.
After a score.
Swung down. They've got numbers down the line, and they're going to press it.
Great move.
He's got support to his
with
left
a nice
and
spin.
right.
Oh, and that one's intercepted.
I'll tell you, it's nonstop.
Yeah. Great spin move, but it led to another opportunity for the University of Denver.
And now this game is starting to open up a bit.
Yeah, it is.
And the official decides
Yep.
there's an argument to wait to play the advantage, but decided neither team.
Yep, and remember, somebody from the University of Dallas has a missing cleat out there, so he's going to get relaced up. And
you know, you definitely realize that these guys are in fantastic shape. But for any athlete, the reason that this is starting to open up is it always opens up at the end of the half, because when you're tired, mental mistakes start coming in, and those guys who were at medium speed, they start to drop down to that lower register. So the guys who have wheels and are still breathing easy at this point, this is where those guys can have big hits if you allow space.
Yeah, and they really start opening up now. And if they have that space, that breakaway speed is the most important thing, because if you have that breakaway speed, nobody's catching up to you.
And really, I wouldn't be surprised if, after what we've seen from Joe Murdy, if next time Denver gets it, they don't see if they can get it to him to try to draw a couple defenders in and then see if they can't, with a couple quick passes, swing it out.
Yeah, that'd be really important for the University of Denver, because they definitely need something to happen here before the end of the first half.
And being fast is one thing, but if you can if you need more than one body to take it out. And now this is being pressed.
Running
one-on-one. Won by the defender, but not without paying a price.
Yeah. He definitely didn't take that one with a grain of salt.
Oh, cutting through and stuck in the middle. Swung out. It's 3-on-3 down the center instead. And now just the two sides just exchanging body blows now.
At least 15.
Got him in behind him. The ball is in play. It'll have to be placed. A lot of contact away from the ball. Official deems to let him play.
Yeah.
And this is also what it means when the game starts to open up. More space also means a larger running start to any kind of contact.
Yeah. And the running starts lead to, as you might know, a lot bigger hits.
Yeah. Now pushing through. Both teams. And now I think a very smart play there by Denver. Clear their lines.
Yeah, well booted. Strong leg there.
I mean, it's going to sound elementary. It's going to sound basic, but the thought process behind a play like that is simply we cannot score from our own half.
Yeah.
If the closer the ball is to our touchline, they are in the better position.
Yeah,
so
and that's just smart strategy. That's outplaying the other team.
I mean, and even if you lose this 50-50 ball on the way in, you've gained field position.
Yeah. If you can make it a little bit harder for the University of Dallas to score, then that's good for them.
And it also slows the game down a bit where Dallas had been rolling.
Yeah. I feel like that momentum from the University of Dallas has slowly started to fade, but might still be there if they can get another interception or another opportunity.
That being said, Dallas should maintain possession here, and they do. Stoucher has brought in a stoppage in play here. A couple bodies between me and the official. Couldn't see the exact call. But right now, sitting here at a 7-point game, you're really one break away from either team. Well, considering it's only 17 points scored between them, not exactly a high-scoring affair.
Not yet.
So either team here, you'd figure stretching that lead to a bigger lead to 12 to make it 2 possessions would be crucial, and you figure that if Denver is the next to score, they've just put themselves right back in this match.
Yeah.
So the next try is critical.
It's very big. If they can make it happen here, then they'll be in prime position going into the second half and making a push and taking a lead.
So the two sides are going to lock up here. I think... Yep, it's going to be Denver's scrub. Wouldn't be a bad position to win it in either.
Yes, this would be amazing field position, University of Denver.
And after the throw-in leading to this would make the net result of that kick for a try a 30-yard gain, or 30-meter gain for them.
That's important.
So it would make that tactical decision pay off greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the 5 away from a scrum. On the farthest right, Sam Noonan, who we saw with a little bit of a burst of speed later, he could come into play here, but instead they're going to go down the center and drawing everybody, pretty much forcing the entire central defense from Dallas to cave in if they can get this away. Slowly plodding forward now. Now maybe a little bit of a chance to get a chunk, but it's closed down quickly.
Yeah, they're trying to make it happen here.
Going down the right, it's 2-on-2. They have to be careful not to dump him here, and they are. Once the feet leave the ground like that and you're in control, you have to be really careful not to get yourself.
Mm-hmm. Great smart play right there.
Now Denver scratching for every inch. Spilling in, looking for it, and at this point, it's not too bad of a time for both teams to just line up and see who has more pushing power, and I believe Denver's won the battle of muscle down there.
Yep, and that is huge for the University.
They have, and beggars can't be choosers when it comes to much-needed points, but it's not going to be an easy kick for this extra 2.
No, it will not.
So Denver's second try now. They've got 10. Looking for a chance to chase down this lead. It stands at 14-10 now. They could cut into it. So it's 14-10, a chance to make it 14-12. But the position of the try hasn't made it easy for him. It's Grant Whiteside. Swings his foot through it. It never did look like threatening the goal, but then again, it would have taken a miraculous effort to threaten the goal from there.
That would have been tough. But as you may notice, it's a bit of a warmer day today, and one drink out there is especially good for a warmer day. Pickle juice is a 100% natural sports drink that contains 10 times the electrolytes of typical sports drinks without any of the sugar or artificial ingredients. Pickle juice is the only product on the market scientifically proven to stop and prevent muscle cramps and is a proud sponsor of the Cowboy Cup and Professional Premiership Rugby. Look for it at your local retailer or at picklepower.com. And we actually have someone down there on the sideline, our buddy Zarin, looking for some pickle juice right now. Is that right, Zarin? Thanks, Zarin.
And we're back, and we're in the middle of this action, and 10-14 after that most recent try, and that score, I would say, is more than justifiable for the quality that's been gone. It's been that close. And that just shows you the importance of the little things in the game. The only difference here, both teams have pretty much played the standard body of this game pretty evenly. Most of this game matches looked even. The only difference is Dallas has converted on both of their tries, and Denver so far has, to the credit of their try kicker, had two very hard angles to kick at. But
very tough spots to
is yet to execute on the extra two. That's the only difference.
And those two try conversions by the University of Dallas have been the only difference so far in this game.
And that's why, if you're new to the game at home, you will see most of the action try, if they can, to play through the middle of the field, because those two extra points can be critical, and they're way easier
Yes, sir.
if you can get yourself close to center. Just squirting out of the scrum, and it's a loose ball picked up by Denver. He's got room to work. Shrugs off one, gets himself a little bit of extra space, and now he'll try to play it off to a teammate. He will. Whistle blown here. And they just take the free kick quickly. Clever little bit of play there.
Yeah.
And here, they're going to actually make him come back and take this one. But, playing that free kick was great because he saw that everyone had backed off once they heard the whistle. And as soon as he touches that ball to his foot, he's illegal to continue the play. And now this booted out the corner. So they're going to fight for this ball in the air. And, well, Denver now, in the last 3 minutes, absolutely on fire. So this, Denver is going to have the throw, which means it's more likely than not that they're going to end up with this. But anything Dallas could do at this point would be massive, because it does look like they're on the verge of conceding.
Yeah.
And they have intercepted it.
That's huge for the University of Dallas. Now they can get going the other way and hopefully get a chance before the end of the half.
Critical defensive play, and they've timed it perfectly. Again, we sit at 10-14. So one try, the difference pretty much between your postseason expanding or having to go to a third place consolation game later in the weekend, which is a game that, well, I'm sure will be high competition. Isn't a game either of these teams picture themselves playing in.
No, not at all. If you battle so hard during the regular season, you make it here to the postseason, you definitely want to go all the way with a championship in mind at the end of the journey.
And now, seeing the time winding down, they're going to just take a boot, let this one go out, and let the official decide that it's time for this to go to half, which is a very smart play, not trying to get any extra ground because they were in the shadow of their own goal. So it's going to end with a smart bit of play there to gain themselves, not gain themselves field position, but prevent any further damage. And they're going to go into half 14-10. And honestly, if you're either team, I don't think you feel awful about the way you're sitting right now.
Exactly. Both teams have played fantastic to this point. Both been working very, very hard. The only difference between the two teams are those two try conversions by the University of Dallas. So if the University of Denver can make something happen at the start of the second half and come out with some momentum, that would be huge.
And it's little things, but the fact that the difference is those two tries tells me that it's critical for Denver to start to win that middle part of the field just a bit more than they have. It's been pretty even, but when it's been critical, Dallas has been able to score through the middle and maybe have their way a bit there, whereas Denver has had more success swinging it out, but they haven't been able to oppose themselves, which is why they've had harder chances.
Yeah, they definitely have to find a way to get it into the middle, because once they get it in the middle, the try opportunities are that much easier.
Yeah, and you just can't overlook the fact that pretty much every player on both teams has done their job. There haven't been an awful lot of mental lapses, and both sides defensively look just about as organized as you could ask.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see, especially here in postseason play, because these two teams have battled hard all regular season long, and now that they're here, they are definitely trying to win a championship.
Again, on the line, a chance to go to a regional tournament. So pretty much what you play for at the end of it, and they've got one game and now 40 minutes to see who's going to come out on the better end of this.
Yes, sir.
And now, before we go to halftime, we're going to go to Zarin with an interview.
Michelle, you're gonna have to let me know. Like, give me a hand cue. I can see you when he tosses back to them. When he tosses back to them. He wants to read. Sharon's gonna read something. Here comes Sharon.
NSCRO, the National Small College Rugby Association, is a partner with USA Rugby. NSCRO provides services for nearly 400 men's and women's small colleges for their growth and development. To learn more, visit us at nscro.org and like us at facebook.com/nscro rugby.
And so far, NSCRO also provided us with a fantastic game with high stakes going on against two of the best teams in the country. Honestly, as a fan of the sport, as a fan of, competition and stakes in general, you can't really ask for a much better setup for a second half.
Yes, sir, and I expect a lot more action here in the second half.
Yep, and we'll be with you with the second half in about 10 minutes on the Triton Nation Network. Until then, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Second half action from the NSCRO Cowboys Cup, and we mentioned that both teams probably felt pretty well about where they were sitting going into half, and proven by how quickly they took that half. Not a lot of tactical changes to be made. Both teams just have to push their advantages a bit better.
Yeah, both teams are ready to go. The second half is going to get underway.
10-14, and it will be Dallas doing the honors with the drop kick to open this.
And as we said before we went to halftime, before we started the second half, Dallas is up 14-10 over the University of Denver. Denver has not been able to find the middle so far.
And Denver also, they were able to rectify the problem late, but they played a large middle segment of that half inside of their own territory deep.
Yeah.
And they had to over and over and over again say no, and finally Dallas was able to break through. It was one of the key turning points in this game. Now Denver gaining the first possession.
And as we stated, this is a huge, huge breakaway there. And that one's picked up. Oh, and intercepted by the University of Dallas.
And now a big hit, but a legal hit through the middle. Pardon me, no, the official is gonna confirm my suspicions and say that was a little bit of a dump. Again, for anyone new to the game, you cannot hit above the line of the collar, and you cannot, once you have picked up an opponent, intentionally drive the head or neck area into the ground.
Yeah.
So if the official deems that you've done anything dangerous like that, those are pretty much the only two rules of the hit, but those rules do well enough to regulate and make sure that the game is safe.
Yep, they definitely keep it safe, and they definitely protect their players here at NSCRO.
So after that call, the scrum was Dallas's, and they have won it. Coming back through, and again, you can see Dallas driving through the center.
And that's exactly what they've been doing the entire first half, and they are trying to make it happen again here in the second.
Just driving through.
Just a bunch of great team play by the entire University of Dallas.
Trying to work through. Official.
Another whistle there.
Hand up, so deemed a good enough offense for him to not just award a little bit of free play, but to actually stop the action. So as we mentioned before, these two teams met in this. Two of the best to get to this place. They had to finish top two in their league. So this is two teams that have paved their way through to this, and if they can scratch out one more win, they can pack their bags for a trip to the Pac West Region Championship in California.
Yeah. Which wouldn't be too bad of a trip to go from Texas to California. That doesn't sound too bad to me.
Absolutely not.
It's a lot better than being in Iowa, Tyson.
And more importantly, anyone who's been in any kind of competition knows how it is. It's always better to be able to play one more game.
Yes, it is.
Especially when the stakes just keep getting higher and higher, which for these two teams, they've played their way into a very, very opportune position. And at this point in their season, every win is just going to get bigger. And
Yeah, there's some hardware on the line now.
Yeah, it's just going to allow them one more chance. And here, this is a chance. A little bit of an angle. He's asked for the tee. He's going to go for points here.
Well, that one's up.
He has hooked it left.
I will admit it looked like quite a bit of wind caught that one from underneath it, but
so in
that one's pushed far left.
So in any situation given, you certainly cannot blame the decision to go for the points there. It was the only decision to be made.
Yeah.
Does leave it a bit left, and now will be a chance for Dallas. But again, they find themselves early in this, playing the first 4 minutes of the second half out of their own position, and now they're going to kick to change field position, and they will. Good kick, good chase down, and now they're out of the shadow of their own try line at least. And they've regained possession, pardon me, on that loose ball. So everything off of that drop kick went perfectly.
Yeah. That's about as planned as you wanted it to be.
Usually when you send a ball that far downfield, you are conceding possession for field position. This time they were able to get the field position and maintain a stranglehold on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And now again, sending it forward. Hard to see that far line, but I believe it rolled its way over. It did. believe off of a white touch. So again, for score, it's 10-14 in favor of Dallas.
Just getting underway with the second half here.
Yep, Dallas, for reference, the team wearing the blue stripes on the left side of your screen. Denver, the team in maroon on your right. Now the scrum's going to be called, and if Denver can win this, and it is their scrum, they will be in working business, and now they are. Here we go.
Yeah, great opportunity here.
Almost bobbled and lost it, but they're able to keep the position.
That one was swallowed up very well by Dallas.
Yep, the official's giving the free kick, and they're going to take it quickly. Oh, and just cutting through. He moved a defender with his eyes there.
Yep, dragged down from behind, though.
Oh, and they plow in for the try. That was a beautiful little offensive sequence there.
Yep, arms raised by University of Denver, and it looks like they got the 5 points there.
So 15-14, they take the lead. The first lead they've had since it was 5-0.
Yep, and this try here is going to be big.
And this one is much more opportune than the last two.
Yeah, a bit more manageable. If he knocks it down, they'll put him up 3.
And this is still an important try, because going up 3 means that a drop kick through the post would only tie it.
Yeah.
It's not the most common thing on earth, but it's still a scoring occurrence that you have to plan for.
Mm-hmm. He's lining it up. It's teed up.
Not a chip shot, but doable.
Yeah. Certainly easier than the last two.
Takes his run up, and this is critical.
It's up.
Doesn't have the leg, had the direction, and he wasn't short by much.
Yeah, just barely missed that try, so that's going to leave University of Denver up 1, 15-14 here in the second half.
It's not an easy thing to catch a ball square like that.
No, it's not.
So, but still, 15-14. I mean, there's only 3 5s and 2s, so any score here is going to change. Who has the lead here? We've already had 3 lead changes.
And as we said before, a lot of balanced play out here on the pitch today.
Yeah, and it's starting to open up. It really is. The kick here. Received by Denver. Chase down, we'll see what they can do here. Pile of bodies here, Denver's ball. Driving forward. And now you can see it's Denver. It's just little things like that. It's just little things like that once they start to pile up, now it's Denver the one who's constantly driving forward, who every contact is the one applying the pressure instead of feeling it.
Yeah, and Denver must have known at halftime it was important for them to come out and try to catch some type of momentum and come out here and play absolutely their hardest to try to advance.
This one, they didn't like the position that they were going to have to play that ball from. So now swung down, and one thing I have noticed, both of these teams seem to fancy that their strength is through the middle.
Yeah.
They're not too quick to try to swing that out.
Looking to make something happen. Big collision there.
And you know what, with a newer style, rugby taking the same trend of football, faster, more scoring. There's nothing wrong with seeing a team that fancies their chances up the middle.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Oh, one
Great
stutter
move.
step. He gains his teammate a little
He's
bit
got
of
an
room, and now it's
opportunity.
off to the races. Is tracked down.
Great play right there, putting the skates on the defender.
A little bit of
making it
connecting
happen.
play up there to Adam Jace. And how about that?
Yep, how quickly the tables can turn.
And it was right as I had said that the wingers on both teams had been a little quiet.
Yeah.
Adam Jace gives a stutter step and is almost gone.
Yeah, and they were looking to make some noise almost as soon as you said it, Tyson.
And now a big hit through the middle. The official has rewarded it, and slow to get up here. So the official has awarded it, but I think as any rugby player would tell you, the official awarding it doesn't really make the chest area feel much better.
Doesn't hurt any less.
But now, look where they've given it. They've given a free kick dead center. And by no means a chip shot. He will have to connect squarely with it.
Yeah. It's teed up here.
Looking for 3. But the wind playing a factor, as you can see.
Yeah, the wind is definitely kicked up and at the most inopportune time for the University of Dallas.
It's pretty much dead center. Is a way out. He tees it high. He puts it up. Is it 3? It is.
Yeah.
He's reliable.
Yeah. He made that look about as easy as it could be. Even though we tried to make it sound hard, he knocked that one straight through for 3.
Clean through the middle. You said trying to make it sound hard. It is a middle range shot from dead center, but with the way the game is going today, it's late in the. It's not. It's middle to late in the game. The wind is whipping all over the place. It is one of the biggest kicks you're going to take all year, but he puts it through 17-15.
Yep, and that's going to put the University of Dallas back up by 2 here in the second half.
And that's punishing a foul to the extreme.
Yeah. Really immediately made the University of Denver pay for it.
So one high hit from Denver was all it took. They take advantage of it. Now they'll be getting the ball back played. And now trying to get something going with this play is going to be buzzed through by the official. He didn't like something he saw in the pile over there, and I'll be honest, there were a lot of bodies flying.
Yeah, as we've seen all day long, a bunch of solid competition from both teams.
Now 15-17, and they've got the momentum. If Dallas, with this little run of possession, could push themselves towards the midfield area, you'd feel like that's really the goal for this next few pitches. And they have deemed in that little pile that the guilty party, I believe was a Denver player, so Dallas will be playing the kick forward. So now whoever can end up So as this gets played forward, you can see now what this kind of stoppage and play does. You can see the space between the two sides. Looks like they're going to play it forward for touch, and they will. Booted. They're just going to gain some field position out of this.
What do you think it is?
But in order to gain some field position out of this, now both teams ping-ponging it back and forth. And you can see just in that exchange, in those couple decisions, how much these two teams figure that every meter counts in this game.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right, Tyson, and they really do, especially this late in the game, only having a 2-point lead. University of Dallas has to make something happen quickly to space themselves out, and they are doing it right now.
An aggressive pitch forward, and he was inches away from connecting. Just let his teammate a bit too much. So now the scrum is set up. Pretty close to midfield. So whichever team can win this will have a chance to be moving forward into opposing territory, but still not golden field position to be earned.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some work from here.
A little bit of a pause here as the scrum is engaged. It's played in. It's dead center in it. Now it's favoring Dallas. Dallas wins the opposing scrum. And now Denver backing off, playing a bit more defensively. Dedicating some people to get in front of the ball. It's swung out left.
Looking to make something happen over there on the wing.
Just a little bit of a poor pass forward there. Now the scramble still. Dallas possession. Comes out, and now Dallas is moving forward methodically. Draws a couple defenders in. Being put on. Dallas doing a good job keeping possession.
And as we stated before, it is a game of possession. Having those longer possessions will definitely favor your team in the long run. And we've seen that with the University of Dallas. I would say they've had a majority of the possession so far this game.
It favors the team that can win the possession battle in more ways than one. Obviously, the most simple and most basic being that the other team cannot score when you have the ball. Yeah. It's as simple as that, and you can. But then there's also the factor that it takes a whole awful lot more effort to constantly be matching the challenge on defense than it does to be applying the flow on offense.
Yes, sir.
Because really, offense gets to make decisions, defense has to react.
Yeah.
Especially in the game like rugby where offense gets to dictate the pace. That means when you're trying to make the tackle, you're constantly catching, having the hit brought to you. Now swung out. Big man, he's got a size advantage, pushing it for a couple. And can always appreciate that. Realized he had the matchup advantage. A little bit of a pause here as the official, and it looks like they're going to have to bring the trainer in. Let's call this number down, and it's appears to be number 12 from Dallas, Vince Adinio. So as they attend to the freshman.
The Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company is proud to be the top sponsor of NSCRO and enhance the small college rugby experience. Penn Mutual understands that rugby is life. Learn how at pennmutual.com/rugby.
And it's going to be a good day of rugby in this first game, while it has been halted at this point by our really first major stoppage of the game, which is they appear to be working on the hamstring area of Adinio. Really, this first game, we hyped it up that it was going to be a good day because you have 4 of the best teams from one division and 2 of the best teams from another that are going to be playing each other, and they're all playing each other for stakes. For 4 of these teams, the teams in the 2 teams playing here today, and the other in the later game that's going to be in this Champions Cup series, they're playing for a chance to go and be in a regional tournament. Whereas the game we're bringing you later today, the game our alma mater, Iowa Central, is playing in, is a game where there's national title implications from it right away. It's survive and advance at this point.
Yeah.
So, with 2 points separating them, and a win guaranteeing you a spot in the region, it's pretty much whoever plays the best in this next 20 or so minutes is going to end up getting themselves a chance to extend their season.
Yeah, and both of these teams know that, and they want to continue their season. They don't want to go home early. They definitely want to have a chance and an opportunity at the end of the day to be a champion, and that's what both of these teams are looking forward to. With only 20 minutes left, or so in the second half.
And the championship always being the long-term goal. The short-term goal, of course, every week is survive and advance. And coming off the injury, will be booted away. Field position about 20 meters away from his try line. A scrum for position in the ball here. See who comes out of the pile with it. Instead, the official's going to demer again. Nowhere with that. Draw both teams back from the ball. Good play by the official there. You do have to try to be making some concerted effort to move the ball forward, and if neither team has the ability to do that, might as well space them out a bit. Pretty much the only thing you cannot do with the ball is sit still and make sure that nothing happens to it, which was what was happening at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Which sometimes the awarding of the penalty, it does feel, it's the way the rules are applied, and it's definitely the right call, but it does feel a bit heartless considering the person at the bottom of the pile that ends up getting the call usually is just a person.
Yeah.
It's just the person who everyone else laid on while the ball was sitting there.
Practically, yeah. And that's not a pretty place to be. I can almost guarantee it.
So as they sit here, kick forward, they're trying for it. Did he put it through? Nope. Short, and now a chance on the counter.
Yep, and here they go. They're looking to attack right away.
They tried for a long three, now they're going to bring it out. Put the ball down and take their kick. He has, and it's not a bad bit of distance. It's actually medium, so his teammate might have a chance at it. Instead, they'll sacrifice some position, and now both teams clumped back up after that couple bits of free play. The pile moving forward. That was 5 meters gained from pure effort, and he's still going.
Yeah. Absolutely determined.
And now pretty much 90% of the players on the field involved in this pile. It's become a test of strength here, and it seems to consistently be creeping Dallas's way.
Especially this late in the game, you know there's some tired legs out there. And you know some guys are just barely hanging on. Pushing through, though, trying to continue playing in the Cowboy Cup.
And only 32 points between them and 2 points to separate them. They know that any little break could be the one that decides this game.
Yes, sir.
Still, I don't think the ball has been disengaged from this pile yet. Still moving forward. And now finally able to gain control Denver, but not until they lost a decent bit of ground.
Yeah.
Now almost able. And that's always your fear. They were able to get behind him and get a little bit of jersey, but it's always your fear when it's the same thing in any sport where offense and defense are played with no break in between. You're always afraid that if you get going forward on offense, the last thing you want to do is cough that ball up because everyone is dedicated going forward. Everyone is in an offensive mindset, and all of a sudden, you've got no one.
Yeah. But once it does happen, you have to have that quick change ability. You got to be able to go straight from offense immediately over to defense, and I think the University of Dallas did that pretty well right there.
Absolutely. The last thing you want to do is make a mistake and leave yourself exposed, and they did. Definitely one of the things that helped them on that turnover, though, is that it wasn't like it was an intercepted pass or anything. They had time to see that the fight for the ball was going on and get back.
Yeah.
Again, for scoring purposes, 15-17 in favor of Dallas.
Getting later here in the second half. Amazing match so far.
Absolutely. Dallas has scored 2 tries, executed on both kicks, and scored a 3-point kick after a penalty for a high hit. So that's the difference. Denver has scored 3 tries and executed on none of the 2-point opportunities after them. And they're pretty much, he thought he had a little bit of grass, pretty much shut down where he was. See where they bring this back to. So a break and a couple substitutions here. And they're going to bring it back to, yeah, that's about where where the infraction looked to be committed, and Dallas is going to have a scrum. And if they can win their own scrum here, we'll have a chance to maybe push even further into Denver territory.
Yep. And then that's definitely what they're aiming for.
And they know with the pacing of this game that a try could be the dagger. They're looking for it. Maybe one swing away there.
Trying to make it happen here.
Pushing forward. If he can dump it off to his teammate, they've got a chance. No, met well by Denver. Reacted quickly. Still going forward, though.
Looking to push it in here.
Look at the teamwork behind
Trying to
him.
make it happen, and there it is.
I think his teammates have shoved him in. They have.
Yep. You can see the excitement down there already.
22-15.
That is huge.
It puts them a full try and 2 points ahead.
Yes, sir.
And now with a chance to make it a 2-possession game. And the effort there, the will and ability to shove that through the middle means that this 2-point shot isn't half bad at all.
And this one's big.
This one's big, and it's well within his ability.
Yep.
And it looks like he snuck it into the right upright.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit farther from center than he wanted to hit there, but counts all the same. 24-15. So now Dallas has went from this being one heartbeat away from them maybe losing control of this to it looks like they have a much, much firmer grip on it than any team has had at any point of this game.
Yeah, and now University of Denver has a much, much tougher hill to climb. And if they want to get back into this, they're going to have to fight their way back for sure.
Yeah, and those 2 points vital to that.
Yeah. So far, it's been a beautiful NSCRO Cowboy Cup game. NSCRO is the home of small college rugby in America, and we've watched a great match here to start off the day.
Yeah, and they've pretty much organized this entire thing, put their name on it, made sure that they could get some good rugby played here, one that was worthy of their organization, and I don't think this game has fallen short of that at all. It's been brilliant to watch.
Not at all. Yep, it's definitely been a great one to watch. 2 tough teams just battling it out all afternoon long.
And now it's going to come down to Denver. Where do they feel like they have the advantage? Because they started out pretty much being able to move for the first 20 minutes, pretty much being able to move up and down the field at relative will. They weren't scoring easily, but they were able to make progress pretty much every time they touched the ball.
Yeah,
to the last 30 minutes of game clock.
Yeah.
They've had tough sledding.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get it going here because it's getting later here in the second half. And if they don't get something going, it's not going to look too good.
Winning this scrum would be a good start, and it is their own. It's sitting there, and it is Denver's. He'd be smart to fall down and dump it off to a teammate here, and he has.
If this is Denver's moment, if they're going to make it happen, they have to make it happen now.
Ball loose, saved by Denver. That was close. Still under control, but spending a lot of time moving left to right and unable to get themselves vertical.
And that's the problem that they had somewhat in the first half. They couldn't necessarily couldn't get the push through up the middle. They definitely had to go east and west. So they're trying to find a way to get in there.
Taking the penalty quickly. They've got a chance. He's shoving forward.
Well, he's working, driving those legs, looking to make it happen.
Candy's brought down, but he's got a lot of teammates doing a good job shielding, and they might be rewarded for it here. Still a good job. His teammates are around him, shoving it off, and now a big body through the middle trying to push. But again, being denied. No movement on the ball. Now Denver shoving it back. Losing ground on that. Chance here. He's got bodies in front of him. Dumps it off to a teammate.
They're going to make it happen here. They're knocking on the door.
So close, and now they've got a little bit of space. This might be the moment.
Quick moves.
Every second moving closer. Trying to find their way back into this match. Trying to answer quickly.
And a quick answer here would be huge for the University of Denver because that would still give them time.
Still give them plenty of time to work. Now, wherever this ball comes out, this ball teetering right on the try line. Who's going to end up getting possession out of it? Can they get it back to the freer players outside of it? And the official finally going to make the decision. You don't like to in that position.
Yeah.
Have to blow your whistle, but the whistle comes out. And now, so coming off of the set piece, trying to move forward every inch. But Dallas is making them pay for every inch.
Yeah. Dallas is definitely
protecting their goal. And there they have it.
Yep.
Finally, after a minute of fighting, what a moment for them. They've put themselves right back in this match.
They were knocking on the door for a long time, and they pushed it through.
Pardon me.
Excuse us.
It's going to maintain, it's going to stay 15-24 as officials' whistle came out.
Excuse us.
It was after a big surge. I assumed that the whistle had come out for the try, but instead for an infraction. It stays 15-24, and it's going to be a scrum. And it's going to be a Dallas scrum. Couldn't pick a scrum in a bigger moment or a bigger place. Down on their own try line. Dallas has won it. And that's an absolute backbreaker.
Yeah, that one hurts. That one hurts the University of Denver big time.
And before the official called the foul, it looked like they had scored.
Yeah, they were right there.
I saw the ball go over the try line, and I assumed that was what the whistle was for. Now showing back. Now that being said, if Denver could find a way to win possession in this next few turn of events, they got him chased deep. Inside his own try zone, he's brought down, trying to get it forward. And now Dallas has to be very careful. He's in. Can he get the ball to the ground? Again, there has to be pressure to the ground. Now shoving it right down the throats. Waiting for the call, waiting for the whistle. It doesn't come. Pushing through. Does that count? Was that over the line? Now they're going to have a conference. Now, Sharon, it appeared to me that he had the ball over the line and he had pressure from his hand to the ball, and he has.
Yep, there it is.
And what a moment for Denver.
Yeah, that's huge. That is very, very big.
20-24. And they fought long and hard for it.
Yes, they did.
They lost the ball at one point on their own try line, and it looked like Dallas was going to be able to carry it away and just completely wipe away that scoring chance forever. But great defensive effort by Denver to hound it down in their own try zone, and then one last stretch across the goal.
Yeah, that's just terrific determination by the University of Denver's team. 100%.
Now, and what the official was probably trying to deem as this 2 is taken. Trying to make this 22-24 and put them within a 3-point. Put them within a drop kick, can he? Yeah, he has.
And it's through.
He never looked like missing from that distance. 22-24. And you know, you still, even on that short try in a moment like that, you do have to hold your breath, because sometimes the moment can get to someone in a game like this. But
yes, it can.
he made the easy shot easy, kept his fundamentals sound, and put it through the middle.
Yep. Took his points, and so did the University of Denver, and they're only down by 2 now, 22-24 in the second half.
And for anyone, maybe just getting into the game, maybe not, because that, I realize, especially for a fan of American football, the play over there where he had clearly reached over the goal line might be a bit confusing, but it doesn't just have to break the plane.
Yeah.
He has to be into the try zone, and there has to be pressure from the top of his hand to the ground.
Yep, and that's the only way you can get those points, and that's why it took so long for the University of Denver to get that 5 on the board.
And it's also why it took so long for the official to make a decision, because as he stretched over and as he hit the ground, he kind of lost the ball. So you had to ask yourself if he had control of the ball when he hit it. But I think he very clearly did, and the officials got together and made the right call.
Yep, and that's great refereeing by these 3 fantastic officials this afternoon.
And I have to say, though, both teams have made it pretty easy on them. It's been a pretty clean played game all the way through.
Yes, sir.
A little bit of room to work. Gets him a running start in a few yards. Played trying to sidestep, but one-on-one with not much space is not an easy task. Now playing through. Earning his way. Again, if Denver can get themselves a try, but even now that they've made this 22-24, if they can maybe get themselves in position and get a stoppage for a potential drop kick.
Yeah, that would be huge. They're definitely trying to make it happen right now.
So don't be surprised if they get close and there's a stoppage of play if they don't ask for the tee.
Yeah. Looking to make something happen. They are pushing desperately to get into position. Oh,
And
big
now-
fella.
I believe that's what we call a mismatch.
Yeah, that just slightly a disadvantage for Dallas in the weight department.
And you see what I was saying earlier with the run from that same player. When it takes that many bodies to stop you, there are less bodies committed to the people around you.
Yeah. And then that is a large human being.
And for him, off of that run, it worked out even better, because if you can make 3 or 4 people commit to stopping you, that means 3 or 4 people are on the ground around you.
Denver is really trying to get this thing going now. They're pushing and pushing.
And the ball security of Denver, well handled.
Yeah, it's been terrific so far on this opportunity that they have been pushing for.
That being said, though, not for the first time today, maybe a little bit of extra shoving around the scrum.
Yeah.
Around the pile that's going to lead to a scrum. Pardon me, they're going to skip the scrum altogether and give the free kick. Are they going to play it for position? Yes, they are. And he's put it clean out of bounds. And that's exactly where you want to put that.
Yes, you do.
Don't give an opportunity for anything to happen out of it. And give yourself an opportunity to maybe be able to come up and steal this. And now you can hear the crowd getting louder because...
Yep, still a close one, 24-22.
We're getting
here
closer
in the second
and closer.
half.
We're getting to the point now where every time this ball goes out of bounds could be the official's time to call for a final whistle.
Yep. So here we go, the final moments.
And again, there is not a score in the game of rugby that would not change a lead here.
Huge semifinal matchup right here in the Cowboy Cup. University of Dallas, University of Denver.
And again, 2 points separating a runner-up trophy, a potential third place, or if you finish in the top 2 of this tournament, you go on.
Look at the push right there.
And this is what Dallas needs. They're eating up clock. They're making the official make a decision. He's put his shoulder down. Now trying to push it out left. He sidestepped. And
you can already see the play
and you can
skyrocket.
And you can also see they're gaining more per run because Denver is playing a bit more aggressive because they have to.
Yes. At this point, it's too late in the game not to play aggressive.
It's time to take chances. Has Denver won the ball back? They haven't. Dallas is keeping it through and somehow able to keep the ball. He's down to, I'd say, about 10 meters out of his own try line. Pardon me, more like 20 or 30. The angle always a little bit tricky from this point, but the point remains that every second that Dallas starts to lick off of this clock is one more second where the official has to consider blowing that final whistle. And as there's a stoppage of play here. And not a good area to give away anything for free.
No.
And as you can see, obviously Dallas in no hurry
Yeah.
to take this, and there's absolutely no reason they should be.
Yeah, you definitely know they're taking their time right now, doing just as much as they can to
And this one
close
up,
this one out.
It's wide right. Pardon me. He snuck it through.
Well, that's big.
Absolutely. That could be the dagger. I was ready to call that wide right. And now just taking it quickly and giving it up 22-27.
Yep.
And that might not sound big, but that also means that a try does not lose you the game.
Yeah.
So now a try will tie it. And a drop kick does nothing, and you see the frustration. Denver was trying to keep that one in play to avoid the throw-in. Unable to. And you can feel this crowd get a little bit louder as we get closer and closer.
Yeah, they know what's on the way. Dallas trying to hold on.
But also, when a game is only one possession difference, it's always a heartbeat away. And they're handling it well. And now if you're Dallas, you want to keep this ball in a pile as much as possible.
Yeah.
And they are. Handing it off from teammate to teammate. This is kind of a loose ball. Can Denver maybe have a chance to maintain possession? No. I don't know if they saw it at their feet. Sometimes hard to keep track of it. Denver has possession, and they have some.
If they're going to do it, they have to do it now, Tyson.
That the ball in their hands means life, but they have to make something out of it. Oh, able to save it. That might have been a game saver. And now tracked down. This one piled up. Still Denver's possession. Fight for the ball. Can't see from my angle who's coming out with it. Fish is going to award possession to Denver. And it's kicked out, and there's the final whistle. That's
Yep.
how it's going to end.
There it is.
The official had wanted to let it play out. He'd been checking his watch over and over again because he felt that maybe it was one play away. But Dallas, for the last 3 minutes of play, more than earning that final whistle.
Yes, sir. They played
And what a moment.
incredibly hard, and they got the win right there. That one came down to the wire.
Absolutely, what a moment for them. And you can see smiles all around.
Of course, pure excitement on part of the University of Dallas. A tough break
And
for the University of Denver.
you can't take anything away from either side. 22-27. That game was one roll, one way or the other, away from completely changing the outcome. But as it sits, you can't argue that the team that won can't feel like they deserved it today. Dallas absolutely earned that.
Yeah, they worked super hard for that one the entire time. That first half was clearly in their favor. Denver came out in the second half and pushed as hard as they could, came back, took a lead, but Dallas stayed on top.
And again, this, for them, means continuing a path
Yeah.
to a potential championship. Just winning this game, they will face off, of course, against the winner of our next game in the Cowboy Cup final.
Yep.
But just winning this one, just making it to the semifinals, means that they have guaranteed themselves a spot in the Pac West Region Championship.
Yeah, and you
And-
know they're excited about that.
Absolutely, it's what it's all about. Because at some point you're going to have to stop playing, but you'd like that to be on your own terms.
Yeah, you would. And you'd like for it to have a trophy at the end of that too.
So what a great first game of the day, and we've got 2 more coming. But for this one, you couldn't have asked for a better wrap-up.
I agree. The Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company is proud to be the top sponsor of NSCRO and enhance the small college rugby experience. Penn Mutual understands that rugby is life. Learn how at pennmutual.com/rugby.
And I know that they asked us to do this, but just for how much fun that game was, I have to thank NSCRO just for allowing us to be here. They were putting on a heck of a show, and if the next 2 are anything like that, we're in for a great day, partner.
Big thank you to NSCRO and big thank you to the University of Dallas for putting on an amazing game and pulling out a big W.
And that's going to be the dying image we leave you with on this one. Dallas in celebration. They've got one more today, but this is the first. They've got one more tomorrow, but this was the first step for them. And for us, that's just 1 and 3, but the next 2 should be an awful lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you guys on the next one later tonight. And if you guys are Iowa Central people listening for us, we've got our game at 3, and it should be a heck of a game.
Can't
against
wait.
2 of the best. But for this one, Dallas is the winner. Great moment for them, and we're going to wrap this broadcast up. I've been Tyson Strayer,
And I'm Sharon Weaver.
and you've been listening to Rugby on the Triton Nation Network.